What is up, warriors? Welcome to another video. I want to talk to you about something today that I hope you never have to use. However, it's a lot safer if you know how to use it. So let's talk about Glucagon. Now these are two Glucagon pens that I have. These are actually both expired, and I don't think they have my medical record number anymore on them, so we should be good. But they actually expired in November of 2018, so that was last year, and it's actually Diabetes Awareness Month, so what a fun coincidence, I guess. I have a new one, thankfully, that is not expired, so it's all good. But because these are expired, I wanted to go through them, show you how they work, tell you about when you're supposed to use it, why they work, how to use it, who uses it. I think that's all the who, what, when, where, why, hows. So, without any further ado, let's jump into it. I'm gonna crack this case open. We've got two of them just in case I mess up. So, I'm gonna toss one aside. I'm gonna open this up. Now, of course, we got this. Right? This is the Glucagon emergency kit for low blood sugar. I had to read that backwards, that was difficult. But essentially, glucagon is a hormone in the body, but it's also this pen. The hormone in the body, it's a signal to your muscles and your liver to release stored glucose. So this isn't necessarily sugar. You're not injecting yourself with sugar like dextrose. This is actually a hormone that tells your body to release the stored glucose into your bloodstream. Now, that being said, once it's released, once you use one of these things, you're more likely to have severe lows within the next 24 to 48 hours as your body replenishes those glucose storages. So once your body is filled up the liver and your muscles again, then you are able to recover and use one of these again. But if you attempt to use this, for example, 2 or 3 in a row, not gonna work. The first one's gonna work, but the second and the third, you're not gonna see much of an effect from that. Now, of course, you can also microdose with these, which a lot of people don't even know, but if you mix it up in the vial, and I'll show you how to do that in a second, you can actually refrigerate the leftovers. So if you wanted to not take a full dose, you could mix it up, inject yourself with a little bit of it, so it releases some of that stored glucose and not all of it. That way you don't shoot up to 500 or 600. However, if you're experiencing a severe hypoglycemia, use it all. It's much better to be high than it is to go low and suffer some difficult consequences of that. You know, well, let's be honest, you could pass out, you can go into a seizure, or worse. We don't want to deal with that. So it's better to use one of these guys and get out of that low blood sugar range. Now, as far as when to use it, you're going to use this when you're suffering from a hypoglycemia. However, it's not just you that has to use this. Now, you can use it on yourself if you are conscious and if you are unable to ingest sugars orally. So for example, if you are having a hard time keeping stuff down, your food, your juice, your sugar tablets, whatever it is, maybe you're vomiting and having a hard time keeping solid foods down, this might come in handy, especially if it's a microdose. Maybe just give a little bit of it to get that bump up back to normal blood sugars. Now, what happens if you're going unconscious because of a low blood sugar? What happens if you can't really function? Maybe you're having a hard time reading because you're really low and you're dropping fast. That's when someone else gets to come in and save the day. That's why your family and friends need to know how to use this. So share this video with them. Let them know this is an important thing, that if there is ever an emergency situation, this could save your life and they need to know how to use it. So where do we inject this? You're gonna want to inject this into a fatty or a muscular group. You don't want to inject it into the skinnier toned areas of your body. Aim for something like your thigh or your buttocks. Okay? The larger muscle groups, the better. You could inject it somewhere like your stomach or your arm, but not as effective. Now, as far as who can use this, I told you it's your family, friends, it's you. If you're having a hard time figuring out what's going on around you, let them do it. Make sure they are able to, make sure they know how to, but just in case they don't, they actually have instructions in here. So I'm gonna crack this open, I'm gonna pull this out, give you guys an idea of what the inside looks like. You should have cracked this open. However, I will also say this is my first time actually using this. I've never actually mixed it together before. I've never had a use for it, and most likely you haven't either. That's why you're watching this video. So here we have this. I've actually never looked inside this either, so let's get to it. Put this down. This says information for the user, information for the physician. You can see right there, if it focuses, there we go. We got, looks like 2 different sides. I'm gonna crack this guy open. Ooh, it's fresh. Oh my goodness. Holy cow, this thing's like a CVS receipt. So we have Glucagon for injection, rDNA origin. Here we go, got the instructions right down here. Look at that. So you got pictures, Make sure it focuses on there. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Now because I've looked at the other side of the box, that's actually the instructions on the inside of the box too. This just gives you a readout of exactly what to do. It's more detailed. However, I'm gonna show you inside the box, give me a second. Inside the box, I'm back, we have the 4 steps right there. See that? Which way does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 1, pop the lid off. We pop in bottles. Step 2, inject the liquid, it's actually a dilution solution, into the bottle. And as you can see here, this is the dilution solution, this is the bottle. So this is actually the glucagon, okay? It's a powder form, and they're actually working on how to make it into a stable form so you don't have to worry about mixing it, because come on, when we're low, you think I'm gonna know to read the directions and figure out how to concoct some formula to bring my blood sugars up? That's gonna be difficult, so hopefully they get it soon. It's actually, I believe there is some words being said about it being done and they're entering final testing, so I'm really excited to hear about that. Some stable glucagon formula. However, for now, we're still dealing with this guy. So, there's the powder, there's the liquid. So, step 2 is inject this liquid into that powder vial, which of course you have to take that cap off first. Take the cap off of both the vial and needle, inject the liquid into the powder. Step 3 is swirl this around. Swirl it around real good, get that powder and the liquid to mix into a formula. And then step 4, pull that liquid, the resulting liquid from this vial, back into the needle, and then you're gonna use that liquid to inject the life-saving glucagon. I almost said sugar. It is not sugar, trust me on that. Glucagon, it's a hormone that will help raise your blood sugars because it releases the stored sugar in your body. Now, you know what, I'm gonna do let's do it live. I'm gonna pull this out. So, that was the words. Now let's go through the actions, right? I'm gonna pull this out. This is our syringe, filled with the dilution solution. This is our glucagon powder. This is actually really exciting. I've had diabetes for almost a decade and I've never done this before. So, I'm gonna pull, ooh, okay. It's leaking a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Come on, focus on it. Come on, camera, focus. Whatever, you can kind of see it drop. Anyways, cap's off. You're gonna hold that right there. We're gonna pop this cap off. Here we go. Now we're going to get that needle right in the middle because I like things to be even. Come on. That's kind of hard to push through. Oh, looks like we got a protective thing right here. I'm gonna pull this off. It's hard for you to see. There we go. Come on. That should have been done beforehand. That was stupid. All right, so now you got this guy. Gonna push it in. Get all that liquid in there. And I also want to note, just want you to get that in there. Gonna pull that needle out. Man, I'm gonna look funny. All right, so we want to keep this needle sterile because it's gonna be going inside of a person's body. So keep that either on the table or back in there. Gonna put it there. We're gonna mix this up. While I'm mixing up, I want to tell you if you are under 44 pounds. Well, if you're watching this video, you're probably not under 44 pounds, but if someone you know is under 44 pounds that you're gonna use this on, use a half dose. If you're over 44 pounds, use a full dose. That is the recommendations that I read online. And again, you can microdose if you wanna use a quarter of it. If you don't think you're going that low, then you know, it's up to you. But this also says it was expired. Good, you got expiration dates all over the place. So if you're under 44 pounds, half dose. Over 44 pounds, full dose. That's the recommended use. Now, as you can see, got some bubbles in there, but it is focus. Oh my gosh, come on camera. You can do it. I trust you. There we go. There's no more powder in there. It's liquid. So, gonna grab this guy back, and you are no stranger to needles if you have diabetes, type 1 at least. Now we're gonna get this liquid back out, pulling it. Gotta make sure you can see it on camera too. We want all of it, so I'm gonna angle that needle a little bit so I get not as many air bubbles. Now obviously, you can see there's a ton of air bubbles in there, right? Focus, oh my goodness, there you go. If you're taking your time, make sure you can hear me. If you're taking your time with this, like I am, you can get these air bubbles out. Obviously you wouldn't want to inject that much air into somebody, so I would just make sure I'm not putting on any papers. I'm gonna squeeze it a little bit, get all that air out, get at the very least to the bubbles, give it a little flick, Boop, boop, boop. Where's the end? Oh, oof, there we go. So now I got the majority of the air bubbles out. However, if this is an emergency situation, I'm not going to take time to be really cautious with that because I want to make sure they get their injection. So get the majority of the air out, but every single bubble, that's not necessary because you want to get this in, right? But as you can see with that quick thing, I got most of the air bubbles out. Now, I don't have an orange. I know a lot of you got really disappointed with me. I don't have an orange to inject this into, but I have a wad of paper towels. So we're gonna use that because that's similar to skin, right? Now, remember, into a thigh or buttocks, find a muscular area to inject this into. We're gonna pretend this is a buttocks because why not? It's round. So, needle goes in, make sure I don't stick it in my finger, and then we inject it. Going for a full dose. Boom. There we go. Now, the other piece of instruction they gave in the online educational series was to do it fast. There's likely possibility, I should say, that if you're going super low, you might be having a seizure. And if you're having a seizure, you don't want to be stuck with a needle in you because that needle could be wiping around and messing up your insides. So, stick, push it all in, pull it out. Fast. Make sure that it is not ripping up their insides, but you're not stabbing them multiple times with the needle. Just try to get it in, get it out, and then wait for the sugar to come up. And as soon as this is administered, you should be calling 911 because if you're administering glucagon, especially a full dose, that means you're in a pretty severe situation. You are in emergency mode and you need to get help. So administer, call 911. Hello, we have a type 1 diabetic, severe hypoglycemia. We just administered glucagon and we need your help. Let them know. I think that's everything. So I'm gonna double check and make sure I'm not missing anything. But that's essentially how you're going to use a glucagon pen, why you use it, where you use it, how, who. I think I got all of them again. Yeah. So, if you have any questions, post in the comments. I'm no expert. As I told you, this is my first time doing this. I have literally never even read the markings on this thing. Like, goodness, that's a big needle. You know what's crazy? This used to be the size of my syringe needles when I was giving insulin. Ugh. Now I use a pump, it's a lot smaller, thank God. But, like I said, we're used to needles and in a severe situation, use it. So glucagon raises blood sugars, insulin, as we know, also a hormone, lowers blood sugars. We use these two hormones, or we don't, but someone who has a fully functioning pancreas, glucagon is also kind of helping out in the background, but we have this is how you use it. Make sure, of course, that also when you use this, that you restock. Do not forget to restock. Always make sure you have one of these available. I've got one in my nightstand, I've got one in my backpack. Always ready. Again, I've never used it, but I'm ready. Hope you guys have found this video useful, and let me know in the comments what other kind of videos you want to see. I'm here to help. I love doing this. I love helping you and hearing from the community. So please let me know what else I can film. Please let me know how I've helped you. I love hearing those stories. And as always, keep up the fight. I forgot to mention a few things. Now there are a few side effects of using glucagon. One of them being, I'll just give you all of them, nausea, vomiting, rashes, irritated skin. All these things can happen as a result of giving glucagon. Now of course, it's still worth it. Don't not give glucagon because you're scared about vomiting. However, once you take it, be aware you may vomit. It could cause a reaction. So if somebody is unconscious, roll them on their side so that if they do vomit, they don't choke on their own vomit, it's gonna vomit on the floor. Very important, okay? And you should be calling 911 anyway, so they should be able to come up, show on scene, and help out. Second, I think I mentioned this, but just in case I didn't, if you do microdose or give a half dose, you can refrigerate it for further use up to 24 hours. After 24 hours, it's bad. Solution is no longer good for raising blood sugars, but if you microdose, up to 24 hours, keep it refrigerated. All right, we're coming off the stand for this one. We're going handheld because this is the take-home point. Guys, look at this. I've got 2 of these that are expired. I know for a fact you've had some that are expired in your life too. What I want you to do, this is your homework now. Use these, practice. Do not just throw them away, pull it out, use them, practice with your family, practice with your friends. I'm embarrassed that I've had diabetes for almost 10 years and I have not once practiced. That was literally my first time practicing with glucagon. And you know what, people gotta see this. You know what, second piece of homework, share this video. Share it in Facebook groups, share it wherever else. People need to know how to use this. People need to know that they should be practicing because this could be essential in saving your life in a low blood sugar situation. So use it, practice with it, make sure people that are around you know how to use it, and be ready for those emergencies, but also remember to enjoy life. Now, if you're experiencing low blood sugars, or maybe it's even the fear of low blood sugars, I want you to click the link below and see if that helps you out. Keep up the fight.